Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. This weekend was interesting. Claressa Shields, Kaye Scott. You had the Zeus piece. You just had a lot going on. Ultimately, this weekend of boxing ended with Claressa, clipping Kaye Scott. Badly hurt her with a vicious knockout. Claressa put everything into that shot. Speed, power, and what really made that shot, bad for Kaye Scott, she didn't see it coming. Okay, so that's the worst shot to get hit with. With that being said, Claressa had a dominant performance. Now, I want to say this. A lot of people saying that, hey, the event wasn't sold out. Half of the venue was empty. And I'll say this, from the images I've seen, it looked like that shit was sold out. Now, when I say sold out, it looked like it was at 90% capacity. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? It means that overall, the people in Atlanta came out to support the event. Now, if you let Claressa tell you, she's going to say, they came out to see me. However, I believe that people did come out to see her. I think people came out to see Ray J in Orlando. I think they came out to see Tasiki and Big Lex. I think they came out to see Zeus Network, as well as to see, some of the celebrities that were going to be there. So they came up for the event, not just for Claressa Shields, but she has a lot to do with it. Now, this thing about the fight at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, I watched it. I went live. I did like a damn, 9-hour live? And I saw that Claressa was starting to run away with the fight. Like the first 5 rounds, I said, Kaye Scott was doing some good stuff. I was surprised how Kaye Scott was choosing to exchange with Claressa. And Kaye Scott was landing some shots. Kind of like what she said she did when she sparred Claressa Shields. She had her moments. Now, did she hurt Claressa? No, not to where you guys would see, but she hit Claressa with a couple left hooks that got Claressa's attention. I saw Claressa's facial expression. Because Kaye Scott, that left hook that she throws, she doesn't wind up on it, she just turns it over. But Kaye Scott doesn't have the speed. You know what I'm saying? If she had faster hands, the fight would have become even more interesting. But even with her slow hands, she still gave us some entertainment and excitement and forced Big Goat to have to dig deep. Okay? But the bout ultimately came to a sudden end in the 6th round, right after Shields hurt her with the left hook. But I want to be clear. Claressa Shields was clearly winning the rounds, but I think Kaye Scott was winning over a lot of fans because at age 42 with 7 fights, 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, no knockouts, most of us felt Claressa Shields, especially in the first 3 rounds, was just going to blast her up out of there. But that's not what we saw. And then we felt from round 4, 5, and 6, that's where it could get interesting. And if Claressa tires, Kaye Scott has a chance. But what we saw is Claressa recognized that she had about a 40-pound weight cut, a brutal, brutal weight cut. So Claressa, after those first 3 rounds, you saw she started fighting in spurts. And what I mean is she wasn't just all gas, no brakes. No, she would pick her moments and then she would explode. And it paid off big with the big shot that landed in round 6. Now, did Claressa set up Kaye Scott? I don't think she set her up. I think Claressa was investing in the body as well. Going downstairs, going upstairs. Claressa was throwing some good combinations. But Claressa just has those fast hands. And the problem with Kaye Scott did what I said she should not do. She got herself caught up in unnecessary exchanges. But that's because Kay Scott believes in her power. And she was landing. She just had the idea that if I could just land this one. Well, didn't work out so well for her. You know what I'm saying? She went down, she managed to get back up, and she was allowed to continue fighting. But then Shields went back on the attack, and look, the fight was stopped. Kay Scott's team threw in. I'll be honest with you. I never seen anybody throwing so many damn towels. I saw towels go in there, handkerchiefs go in the ring. I saw socks. I think somebody threw a little Mexican midget in the goddamn ring. I was like, what the fuck? But they needed to stop the fight, in my opinion, because Kay Scott had the history with the emergency CAT scan on the skull and brain before, and I think that's why her corner made sure they threw whatever they could throw in that ring to stop it, because it probably had them wondering or worrying about Kay Scott and getting hurt. Because one thing I'll tell you, when it comes to Big Whoa, who improved her record to 19-0 and claimed the WBC and WBA middleweight titles, Claressa wasn't going to feel sorry for her. Claressa was going to try to hurt her. And it's a fight, man. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. Inflict as much damage to render your opponent unconscious, or force the corner to stop it, the referee to stop it, or for them to take a knee. The bottom line is, they ultimately end there to try to kill each other. And one person is going to find a way to win, the other one's going to find a way to lose. And Claressa did that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you, the word on the street is, I've been telling you Claressa lost 40 pounds, 40 plus pounds. I just saw something that came out. Sound like Claressa's letting people know she had to lose 38 pounds. Just round that shit on up to 40 and say hood champion was right, goddammit. So she lost 40 pounds, like I said, dropping down from the heavyweight ranks to 160. Now, I want to put this out there, man, because I know a lot of people who talk about Claressa Shields, they never watch boxing. There are some who have, and there are others who are diehard like myself, who understand the shit. Then there are others like myself who've been punched in the face and punched people in the face. Other ones have never boxed. So to me, if you've never boxed, I mean, you're welcome to have an opinion, but you should only go so far with your conversation, in my opinion. A brutal weight cut of 40 pounds, that shit is crazy. For some people, Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. And Claressa did that, right? So you gotta, for me, I'm gonna give her a whole lot of respect for her to show the discipline to get that weight off. Now, the whole thing about she was on Ozempic or she was on these different weight loss drugs, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I don't even want to push that out there, but I understand it's the internet and people say crazy shit. So it's all good. It's just a conversation. It makes for a fun conversation. But ain't no reason for me to believe that Claressa took no Ozempic. But I was looking at her physique, and Claressa didn't look toned. You know what I mean? She didn't have a streamlined physique. She like someone who had like a hurried weight loss. But nonetheless, her stamina looked pretty good. Her condition looked pretty good. Now, everybody keeps bringing up the snack products. Listen, I have no reason to believe anyone who uses snack is up to no good. And I don't even know if she used snack for this camp. But what I can tell you is the fighters who take snack products are underneath the snack workout program, or they have the guys who work with Alex Ariza or Dr. Uzman Sajad or Angel Heredia. I will tell you this, they perform differently. They perform at a much higher level than the fighters who don't use those guys to help get them prepared for a fight. Does that mean anything? I don't know. But what I can tell you is there's something special about snack fighters and their performances on fight night. Now, as far as the entertainment, I mean, they kept showing Usher and Lotto. She was present at the event. But outside of that, and Shakir Stevenson, Mayweather, Crawford, I didn't really see no whole bunch of famous people there. I didn't see it as a star-studded event. This wasn't a Mike Tyson event. This wasn't a De La Hoya type event. This wasn't a Mayweather type event. So Mayweather can say, look, I'm TBE, she's a female TBE. Okay, but those events aren't TBE-ish. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got to look at what's going on here with Claressa and Kaye Scott and Claressa and how she disrespects people. I'm giving her credit as a fighter. Everyone tells her she can fight. She does have a little bit of Floyd Mayweather in her where she just wants to tell people, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. I got to do her the way Ricky Hatton did Floyd. Okay, Floyd, we know you're great. Shut the fuck up already. Ricky Hatton had me laughing when he said that. He's like, oh my God, this guy. So Claressa does run her mouth like Floyd Mayweather. Everyone knows you can fight. But we're tired of hearing it. Now, you went at Layla Ali talking about the females that she fought tomato cans. You didn't give her any outlet. You didn't give her an excuse. You didn't give her nothing. You just basically came out here and were trying to rip Layla Ali a new one because of the opponents that she was facing. Layla Ali beat everyone who was put in front of her and just ran out of opponents and recognized that there wasn't any real true competition for her to face anymore. Layla Ali said it. So why should, if Claressa didn't give Layla Ali a pass for beating everyone up who was there for her to fight, and don't even bring up Ann Wolf, because I got the whole story on Ann Wolf, but it ain't for me to tell, but I got the whole story. But if y'all receive it, you guys would be shocked. But when it comes to Claressa, she fought a 42-year-old. You know what I mean? She fought someone who spent so many 20 plus years in the amateurs. She fought someone she was expected to defeat. Now, she did the business. I give Claressa, hey, look, she did what she was supposed to do. All I'm saying is, and this is a question for Claressa, why should people accept these wins you're getting over the opponents and the caliber of opponents you're getting in the ring with? Why should we accept what you're doing and not accept what Layla did? Because you're kind of traveling down the same path to where you're so dominant that these women just really can't compete. And I'm going to be real with you. We all knew Claressa was going to beat Kaye Scott. However, I'll say this. If Kaye Scott would have beat Claressa, Kaye Scott would have been the Australian George Foreman. If Kaye Scott would have beat Claressa, Kaye Scott would have been the female Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Kaye Scott would have been up and away. Her profile, everything. There would have been so many articles published about Kaye Scott. She'd be on all these damn different television shows. She would be international. So I just got to keep it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, Claressa did the business. And it was pretty interesting to see how she did it. You know, she came out aggressive in the opening round, staying behind the jab, tripling it up, hitting her with some right hands that really got Kaye Scott's attention and let all of us know who were observing that the fight probably was going to be all one-sided. Came out in round two, being the aggressor, trying to land a big shot. She was coming up short because just trying to gauge the distance because Scott was so much taller and longer and Claressa had short arms. But Scott was using her jab and was staying at range. And she was doing some good stuff to make sure that Claressa couldn't close the distance. But we saw in round two that Scott had started to develop this knot on top of her head. She had this contusion developing, which even I was wondering, damn, how she all of a sudden got a contusion and shit? Because Claressa don't hit like that, especially coming down 40 pounds. So that didn't make sense. But it is what it is. Then in round three, Scott, she just wasn't able to get things going against Claressa. And she had started to really take control of the fights. And we all agreed that the first three rounds went to Claressa, even though Kaye Scott was still in there, she was trying to exchange, but the talent gap was quite obvious. Then round four, Scott, she's still not trying to get to work, but she just wasn't able to generate the power. You know what I mean? Even when she had opportunities, she just didn't have the speed, didn't have the power to have any impact on Claressa Shields. Most of the shots Scott were landing, she was shooting them to Clarissa's chest and to her arms and shoulder. I guess to try to slow her down. She tried to pull a Canelo type strategy against Bivol, but the shit didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Then around the fifth round, that's where Scott had a good round. Didn't take anything from Claressa Shields, but she was trying to get to work. Then in round six, Scott just stayed in front of her too long and got involved in an unnecessary exchange. They went hook for hook, and Kaye Scott went down. She got up. Claressa continued to attack her. About 2,000 towels were thrown in the ring with some handkerchiefs, white socks, and a Mexican midget. And Shields ended up getting the win by stoppage. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to put some, to me, put some respect on Claressa's name for getting in the ring and doing the business. But again, you got to ask the question, who she do it against? Yeah, Kaye Scott was a unified champion. So it is what it is, right? But my thing is this. The gloves. The gloves, right? Now, I'm not here to start no shit because I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Claressa deserves the win. Black and white, she won. She did what she was supposed to do. End of story. Now, I'm not saying Claressa did anything to her gloves, because some people want to look into it. No, man, you demonstrate that you lack the ability to comprehend. I'm just asking a question. I'm not suggesting nothing. I'm just asking a question. I want to know why Claressa had those gloves on all the way up to the damn post-fight presser. That's it. Don't go, oh, he's suggesting. Do you think this? I don't think nothing. I'm just asking a question. Now, she did say she sprained her finger, but I see people that, oh, she broke her hand. She didn't break her damn hands. Just like she had that knee brace on. Nothing wrong with her. She could have had it on as a precautionary measure. Maybe she felt a little discomfort. Something happened in training camp where just a better safe than sorry type deal. You know, I played a lot of sports like you all, but, I used to go out there playing basketball, and I used to always put on my little ankle braces and shit. Didn't mean there's anything wrong with me. It just meant, I need to have that on. But I did roll my ankle back in the day, playing basketball and shit. Came down that shit road, heard a loud pop. But after that, I for sure would wear an ankle brace. Even now, 51 years old, all that shit happened 30 years ago or so. But when I still go play ball, you know what I mean? I put on my ankle braces, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, all of us who got a little gray in our hair see motherfuckers out there with elbow. Shit for their elbows, for their knees, all kind of shit when we be out there playing basketball for their damn ankles. But the gloves, I just never seen anyone keep gloves on for that long. That's it. So again, I understand if you keep that stuff on, maybe it's something the doctor doesn't want to take off immediately, but they don't have you walking all around with gloves on your hands. Like that's just not normal. So anyone out here saying, oh, that's just normal, that keeps the swelling down and man, stop. Stop. Y'all are poison. I want a qualified person to answer that question. Because really I don't think this was a setup. I don't think this was a situation where Kaye Scott took a dive. Nah, Kaye Scott got rocked. So anybody talking that, I don't agree with it. The only thing that I saw that I just want someone to explain, and look, I ain't suspicious of anything. I'm just curious about those gloves. It makes me think about Edgar Berlanga, right? His complaints fell on deaf ears. But what he was talking about, Hamza Shiraz hit him with the ill left hook, tranquilized Berlanga. But at the end of that fight, Hamza Shiraz didn't take off that damn glove. He didn't take off that glove. Why you won't take off the glove? And again, I'm not suggesting there was any foul play from Hamza Shiraz, but I do wonder why you ain't take off the glove, champ. Made me think about Louis Resto in Panama. You know what I'm saying? Resto, stupid, went over there to shake Billy Collins' hand, his dad's hands, and gave him the glove to tap. His dad went to shake his hand and grabbed the glove and realized that there was no padding in the glove. And he started freaking out. There's no goddamn padding in the glove. There's no padding in the glove. And then Panama Lewis was over there talking about, those are the gloves they gave us. Those are the gloves they gave us. And Louis Resto immediately looked over to his corner like, yo, come over here. You know, which basically let us know that Louis Resto knew that they were caught. And he was looking to have his team come and try to bail him out. So again, with Big Gro, when it comes to the glove thing, I just have a question. And I hope that, somebody would, with some sense, would answer. Not you who's sitting at home, big 45-year-old, woke up this morning, ate Cinnamon Toast Crunch, still living in your mother's basement, wearing your underwear, telling her, don't drink that orange juice that has my name on it. Nah, I don't want to hear from you because you don't know nothing about nothing. But I do want to hear from somebody who'll be like, nah, Hood, we understand what you're saying, but this is specifically what happened. Whether she just kept him on because she was celebrating that she was able to get through a brutal weight cut, come down to 160, perform at an optimal level, and get the stoppage. That's just her. It's like a trophy, or she's just celebrating, or it's just like I forgot what it was, what sport it is. Where matter of fact, I'll put it to you this way: I've had back when we used to have promotion ceremonies. When you used to get promoted, they would come to the individual and they would take the rank that they got promoted to, and they would put tape on. They would put tape on it, and they would punch it into their shoulder, and then it would stick above. It would stick on top of the rank that they were currently at, and they would basically wear it all day to show the world that, hey, I've been promoted to the next rank. And they would wear that shit all day. Some of the dudes would go home with it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I used to be like, man, take that shit off. But maybe that's what it was for Claressa. Kind of like what I used to see happening back in the day when people used to get promoted. If you're E5, you become an E6. They tag that shit on you. They put the new stripes on top of your old ones, and you just wear it all day until the tape, can no longer adhere to your uniform, or you get more tape, whatever. But maybe that's what she did. I don't know. But I do know that that shit was odd. And the other reason is she wants to get a knockout. Now, I'm telling you, going into the fight, I said Claressa wants to get a big knockout. She's looking at Amanda Serrano, who gets knockouts, who drops people. Alicia Baumgartner, who can drop you, who can hurt you. Caroline Dubois, even though that's Claressa's friend, can drop you, hurt you, can knock you out. Claressa hasn't been able to do that. But at the same time, Claressa's not fighting at heavyweight no more. Those are much bigger women. Claressa came down to 160. So it makes a difference when you have this immovable object in front of you, and you can't do nothing with them except outpoint them and chicken peck them and coochie coo them and tickle your way to a decision. But coming down in weight, she got women there who maybe the punch resistance isn't as good as the heavier women. So that could be also another reason how she was able to get Kaye Scott up out of there. Plus, I don't know what kind of weight cut Kaye Scott goes through. But what I can tell you, the mistake Kaye Scott made is that Kaye Scott was standing straight up with her chin in the air in front of Claressa Shields. And Claressa threw that left hook with everything she had in her. You know what I'm saying? Claressa pulled that shit from down under somewhere. You know what I'm saying? She hit Kaye Scott with the ooh-wee. So that's all I'm getting at. Now, as far as the next fight for Claressa Shields. Look, man, word on the street is Jake Paul's going to lift the ban. I know some of y'all don't want to hear that. But I got my little secret squirrel people who contact me, you know what I mean? And somebody knows somebody. And 95% of people who tell me stuff, I don't listen to them. It goes in one ear and out the other. But there's that 5% who've been able to prove to me who they were and who they know, where I know if they tell me something, there's probably some truth to it. But I did have one of my associates, man, let me know that Jake Paul is considering lifting that ban so his fighters can fight Claressa. Now, do you think Jake Paul should lift the ban? Most people say no. I'll say this. I want to see her fight other women who can give her a real challenge. But do I think Jake should lift the ban? Nah, I don't. Because there's been too much disrespect, too toxic. But hey, that's just me as an observer. And I'm coming from a leadership perspective. You had this person come out here and disrespect you, disrespect your promotional company, disrespects almost all your fighters, and slap smoke out of your flagship fighter. I mean, what do? You just let her go and bully y'all like that? Or do you come now and say, you know what, this is an excellent opportunity for my fighter, uh, regardless of what anyone says, I'm going to go ahead and allow them to fight. I'll tell you what, that's a big deal. It takes a real strong person to make a decision like that because you know if Claressa fights the winner of Michaela Mayer and Cameron Scott, and if she beats him, Claressa gonna talk trash. If Claressa fights Tam Tebow, Claressa gonna talk trash. So you're taking a huge risk of allowing your people to fight Claressa Shields because Claressa is going to talk trash. And she may come out here and say, after I whipped her ass, they're probably going to ban me again. Oh, the MVP, they still bums. I still don't need them. Tell you I don't need them. They needed me. Yeah, made them lift that ban because they know they can't go nowhere if they girls want to make money. She's going to talk real crazy. So Jake Paul's got to be prepared to deal with that. But I will tell you, I do think Claressa against Tam Tebow. And you know what's funny? I'm saying this and I'm thinking, it sounds like people who used to be talking about Mayweather. If Mayweather fought this guy, if Mayweather fought that guy. That's the point that people are getting to with Claressa Shields. But I'm gonna say this, and I gotta be real. She didn't fight Shadesha when she could have. I do think they're very strategic with the opponents they're selecting for Claressa Shields. I do think they want Claressa to keep winning. They want her to stay undefeated, retire undefeated. But at the end of the day, they want her to keep winning. That's all. She calling out Tam Tebow. There's a fighter named Sarah Schurich, a German fighter. Why don't she go fight her? She's at 175. She's 6 feet tall. She's got knockouts. She's a big, strong woman. I would like to see Claressa fight her. But as far as Tab gives Claressa a tough time. Southpaw, she got that reach. Good jab. Hands are pretty fast. Am I saying Tam beats her? No. But what I'm saying is, that's a much more competitive fight than Kaye Scott. If Kaye Scott had more speed, which is what we were saying during our lives and I've talked about in the videos, if she had worked on her hand speed, Kaye Scott, I think, would have had a better chance. But she just didn't work enough on the hand speed. So it is what it is. Now, as far as Claressa's future, I don't know, man. She's talking about having a little Pap Jr. Pap who's got a tattoo on his arm. They can do what they want. It's their lives. It's their relationship. But as far as her future, I don't know, man. Did anyone else notice just how many people are starting to make up Claressa Shields' entourage? Am I the only one who's noticing this? Claressa's starting to run around here like death row. Entourage seem to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? All these parasites just clinging on to Claressa. She's got to be careful the direction her team is taking her. Now, I still need a celebratory moment. And I know people out here trying to do a little research to find out just how much money Claressa made from this fight. But she would never tell us. But I would love to know just what percentage of Claressa's purse she takes on. And remember, I ain't pocket watching or trying to jump into anybody's finances. I'm just curious. Because when I see all those people in your dressing room, all those people entering the arena with you, all those people walking to the ring with you, all those people around you when the fight's over, I just gotta wonder, man. Are people just there because they want to be part of the moment, or is everybody getting a little percentage or something? Because I don't know too many people who believe in a free lunch. Everything costs something. So we're gonna see what her team is doing, and if in fact the brands are gonna be attracted to Claressa, if the endorsements are gonna start rolling in. You know what I'm saying? I wonder. But at the end of the day, I don't believe so. But hey, if it happens, it does. I'm not wishing bad or good on anyone. I just have conversations. No emotion from me. Her champion really doesn't give a shit. But if there was someone to come and get involved with her, I would be shocked. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to these brands, when it comes to these companies, these people want you to endorse something. They want you to be an extension of them, and you have to represent something. And Claressa represents virality, which isn't necessarily bad, but she's very toxic in the way she's gone about doing things. You know what I'm saying? She has chosen to be the villain, a very unlikable villain. And as a result, she's not liked. And not just fans. She's not liked by brands. She's not liked by company. Nobody likes her. So I don't believe anyone's gonna want to really work with her. I think this weekend was a good moment for her to say I'm sorry, to people. That was her moment. But you can see she's in a roundabout way trying to apologize without apologizing and getting people to understand that she's just out here hustling. She's just out here making her money off social media. She's doing and saying whatever she has to get the clicks and views. That's it. I interpret that as her apologizing, but she's not going to. She wants people to not allow her viral moments, not allow that to overshadow her greatness as a fighter. I mean, we know that she ranked second on Ring Magazine's Women Pound for Pound list. We know that when she gets in a fight, more than likely she's going to control the pace from the opening bell. Hell, she landed 92 of 208 punches compared to Kaye Scott's 60 of 103. You know what I'm saying? But we know Claressa, she has superior hand speed, superior body work, superior combinations to most all these women in the game. So it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? She dropped about 40 pounds, go from heavyweight to middleweight. The bout drew a very large crowd. There were some celebrities there, but the guys who normally show up, like Floyd is normally, Terrence Crawford is normally at events. Shakir's normally at events. But yeah, Usher was there. Lotto walked around. Floyd Mayweather flew in. But there's really nothing different, you know what I'm saying, than what we're used to seeing. I'm being for real. I was looking for Denzel. Where's Denzel? So don't get me wrong, man. You can't come pull a goddamn wool over my eyes. There was no huge celebrity support, but there were some celebrities there, and these guys are normally at every event. Usher's in Atlanta. He probably tired of him and being on that goddamn tour with Chris Brown out there trying to freak every goddamn woman that get on stage. Usher said, let me take a little day off and go out here to the events right here in Atlanta. So that's what he did. But I think the big takeaway was that Claressa Shields was able to get her first stoppage in over 2 years. And that was her fourth career KO. So she's 19 wins, 4 KOs. She got them Paulie Malignaggi fists, but I'm wondering that KO, man. I'm wondering where that shit came from. Now, this talk about Tam Taboo is one thing. I think realistically, she's gonna fight Lauren Price. She's a unified champion, a fellow Olympic gold medalist as well, and the fight could be at 154. So Claressa could drop another 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But I think she'd prefer to fight at 160, like Michaela Mare, Tam Taboo. Now, Michaela fought at 147. I think her next fight against Chantel Cameron is 154. She never fought at 160. So Michaela Mare, I think Cameron beats Michaela Mare. That's just me. But I'm not saying Michaela can't fight. She's very skilled. I just think Cameron beats her. I saw what Cameron did to Katie Taylor. Shit. There's something special about Cameron. Hopefully she doesn't foul Michaela, but that's going to be a good fight. And of course the Tam Taboo fight, but I just think with Lauren Price, I think those talks are going to progress, especially after Claressa got the big knockout. But Shields could headline a major unification bout that further cements her status as one of boxing's elite. Not going to make people like her anymore. I think, if anything, every day. If anything, every day Claressa picks up another enemy. You know what I mean? I really do. It is what it is. So we just gotta wait and see what happens, man. What I put here? Oh, I'm still thinking about them goddamn gloves, but anyway, good job by Kaye Scott. Good job by Claressa. Orlando Brown and Ray J. I don't even know what to think about that goddamn circus act. But it was funny as hell to watch them in there acting stupid. When it comes to Big Lex and Tasiki, those women can fight, man. Big Lex is an athlete. Tall, long, rangy, used that jab. She did what she had to do. Tasiki has skills. She just got tired. But you can see that she has some skills. She can fight. Tasiki can fight. She got some skills, and she was throwing some bombs in there. If she would have landed some of them shots, she probably could have got a knockout. So she had power. That was almost like a Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis type fight. You know what I'm saying? Where the compact fighter like Mike Tyson just wasn't able to get his shots off, and the taller fighter like Lennox Lewis, which was big equivalent to Big Lex, would just stay smart behind the jab and was landing some shots. So it is what it is, man. But that being said, Claressa, Kaye Scott, it's over. On to the next. Just who's the next going to be? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. But when it comes to I don't know what to think about this guy. But we're going to see if they have the baby in 2027. We're going to see if she really takes a year off. We're going to see what happens. Because remember, she was supposed to fight 3 times this year. She fought twice. Now she's talking about having that third fight early next year. And then she still has to have 4. So that means there's still 1 fight. She was talking about having 3 fights this year and 1 in January, February, then start her family. That's what Claressa said. Now it's already changed. Looks like it's going to be 2 fights this year and then 2 fights next year. So when's she going to have a Pap Jr.? But that's on them. I'm just watching this. But I'm telling y'all right now, for those who are like, man, I wish people would stop talking about Claressa, people are never going to stop talking about Claressa. Because she's entertaining. And because she wants to be talked about. She wants people to look at her videos. She wants people to repost her videos. She wants that. Because Claressa's making good money off social media. So as long as she's out here doing it, everybody's gonna talk about her, including her champion. I'm gonna keep doing my lives. We're gonna keep talking about it because the shit's a soap opera. It really is. And I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse. You watch if next year coming, Papoose don't marry her, don't give her a child, or he don't get a divorce still. We're gonna talk about it, and she gonna start talking about it. At some point, she gonna wake up and say, "Hold on a second," snap back to reality, and she gonna be like, "What the hell is going on? What am I allowing to happen here?" And that little tattoo that Papoose got on his arm, that wasn't nothing to set up, but to set up Claressa Shields down. Because she could say what she wants. All these women are teaming up on me. Remy, Alicia, and Michaela. Yeah, not Michaela, Amanda. They all teaming up on me. Yeah, that mean I'm doing something right. All the women teaming up on me, hating on me. Man, please. All right, all right. We we hear you. But that being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.